Caught it. Hey, YouTube. Yeah, I can't believe I caught that. I definitely thought I was gonna. Yeah, I wanted to make a little video to talk about a question I've been getting very often over the past few months. And that is, why am I not traveling right now? You might have noticed some other travel YouTubers are traveling. You might have some friends who are traveling. You might be traveling. There's all different sorts of possibilities of things that could be happening around travel. But for me, there's only one real possibility, and that is waiting in Canada, at least for a little bit. And I'm going to explain the 4 reasons why. Reason number 1, the Canadian government has restrictions on travel, and they're actually quite strict. I would say we have one of the strictest policies, I was going to say in the world, but actually I don't know what the policy everywhere is. I just know that we're a lot stricter than the United States, where I have a lot of friends who are traveling at the moment. But in Canada, how it works is if you travel outside of Canada and then you fly back to Canada, you need to go to a hotel to quarantine, and you need to pay up to $2,000 for that privilege. So I can't even go home to my own apartment to quarantine. I need to pay $2,000 potentially and stay somewhere else and go through this whole process. And it's a big mess. I don't really agree with that policy. I think it's unscientific, and I think it just favors rich people who can afford that $2,000 where other people can't, and then they're just stuck not traveling. But there's another reason that, reason number 2, I'm not traveling, and this actually has to do with something which, unlike the first unscientific policy we have in place, this actually is scientific. Thank you, science. The vaccine is coming. Some of you might have already had the vaccine. Leave a comment below if you've been vaccinated. Be happy to hear about that. In Canada, we are going slower than the United States, which is painful to watch. But I think we're still doing better than a lot of countries. Like my particular age group, it's not open for yet. It's still older people getting vaccinated, but it's coming soon. And potentially in the next month or so, I could be getting my first dose. And that's exciting. That's exciting for me, that's exciting for the world, that's exciting for everyone, because contrary to what a lot of YouTube comments might lead you to believe, okay, well, we don't need to go into that whole debate, but I trust people with degrees in scientific backgrounds more than random YouTube comments. So I'm getting my vaccine, and I'm excited about that. That's reason number 2, I'm in Canada right now. Reason number 3, this is getting more into the experience I had when I was traveling back in November. I was down in Mexico for about 2 months. Some of you know this, but I didn't share many videos from that trip. And I've never publicly talked about why, but it was kind of weird being out there. I want to be careful because I don't want to say like Mexico is a very welcoming place. People are always like friendly when you talk to them, but you definitely get a feel from some people on the streets that like they don't want tourism right now. Of course, some people do. Some people work in tourism, but other people in places like Mexico City, like they're also dealing with this health crisis, and they don't want to see people just like walking around with a camera, vlogging and having fun and trying to show their city as if everything is normal, because it's not. And I think for some people, some content creators, they can make the YouTube videos they want to make. Some Instagrammers can definitely go and take their Instagram photos because you just need a beautiful beach or like something pretty to stand in front of. I love making fun of Instagram because it's like it just seems so basic compared to like YouTube. But I guess I shouldn't hate on Instagram too much. Just a little bit. But people can still go and take their photos. Like you can take your mask off and take a photo and pretend everything's okay. But what I try to do with my videos, I try to show not just me, but like the life around me. I try to go to Mexico City or to Rio de Janeiro or to Delhi or to anywhere that I've been. Here in Montreal, I try to show the people on the streets. I try to show the restaurants. I try to talk about the local issues. I try to give you a sense of what life is really like. And the truth about what life is really like is people are struggling. It's hard out there for a lot of people. It's hard. It's been a horrible year for a lot of people. And that's just the truth of the time we live in. This leads me to my fourth and final point, which is that it's not the same. There's still some degree of like anxiety on the streets. There's still people are, they're not as warm or friendly as you might normally experience. So if I go to a place I love with warm, friendly people, like I just went to Mexico, it's not the same vibe as it was a few years ago. So I can't make the same videos I made a few years ago. And on the other hand, if I went somewhere new, like let's say I went to, okay, I've never been to Colombia, I want to go to Colombia. But would I really be doing justice to Colombia by showing it in the middle of a pandemic? Or would my own memory, like would I not like that country because I chose to go at a time when things weren't okay? So it's like whether I go somewhere I've been to before or somewhere new, the people aren't going to be the same as I might want them to be. That's going to make it hard for me to enjoy the experience, hard for me to make these videos. Everything just becomes harder. And I'm not afraid of a challenge. Like that's, it's not like, oh, I quit because it's hard. It's just, I don't want to sacrifice the honesty of the videos I make because, like I've always just tried to share my experience on the streets. And I could do more fake videos and just like pretend everything's okay and pretend there's no pandemic and like you make some fake YouTube thing and some people might enjoy that, but that's not what I ever set out to do, and it's not what feels right in my heart, so that's not what I'm going to do. So these are the reasons that I'm currently not traveling. I'm open to possibilities, like if anyone out there works for a travel company and has an idea of a way to travel or something to showcase which could still be fascinating during the COVID context, I'd be open to that. If anyone's in Montreal and has idea for Montreal content, I'd be open to that too. I definitely have the time. I have my camera. I have my health. I'm not afraid to get out there. It's just I need to find a way to create content in a world where travel is different. I guess that's the challenge we all have, right? Like we all have to find a way to reset our expectations of what travel is and perhaps to redefine what travel is, perhaps to travel to quieter places and more natural places. Maybe that's the solution, to get out to some national parks and stuff like that. I don't know, guys. Like I'm just a dude. I don't have all the answers, but this is where my mind is at around travel. I love the world. I love the people out there. It gives me joy. It gives me energy. It's I've built my life around travel. I want it to be back as badly as anyone, but I'm not going to pretend that it's normal if it's not. At the moment, I'm just waiting it out, and I pray to the gods of travel that it'll be back to the time we loved very, very soon. I'm just bored, guys. I gotta figure out my life too, I miss travel, I really do. And have a great day. I'll see you next time.